Now that we know who they are, what do we need to do? What's the next step? It's written for you guys. It's in your ultimate marketing strategy. Ask them what they want. Okay? You can only do that when you know who they are. So if you didn't know, if you didn't define them clearly before, you couldn't ask them. You could ask, but you would ask everybody. Now you're going to ask only the right people, and they're asking the right people. It will give you very different answers than asking everybody. Would you agree? Okay? If I will ask everybody, you know what, even not everybody, every entrepreneur, if I will ask every entrepreneur what's the biggest problem you have in your business, I will get very funny answers. Some people will say, listen, I don't have enough clients. Some people will say, I don't have enough continuity in my business. Some people would say, I don't know how to handle my employees. Some people would say, I don't know how to move from the 10 million to the 100 million. Some people would say, I don't know how to sell my company. You understand the amount of different questions that we need to deal with? But if I'm putting it down to small businesses, usually one person show, what we call the ZZ pair in Dutch, yeah, and we put them together, and we say, what's your biggest problem? Well, my biggest problem is that I work too hard, I get paid too little. Okay, and it's not only. Yeah? Many of you have a problem with positioning. Okay, you don't know how to position yourself as different and better than anybody else. That's great, but that's part of it. It's all part of it, so it's much easier to give you a solution. Guys on the team, I don't know what you did with the air condition, but you made it into a sauna here. So you might make a few people happy there, but you're not making anybody here happy. It's just too hot. Yeah, it's on top of it? Good, thank you. So the important thing is to ask the right people. Now, how do you ask them? Okay, how do you ask them? Guys, most of us don't do that ever, and I don't understand it. If you will see how we're working, we ask you questions all the time. Every blog post, almost every blog post, will ask you a question, and we read every single one of the answers, because it gives us information that I wouldn't have otherwise. It's really strange for me, because every one of our competitors can read all the blog posts with all the questions. It's all we never, ever, almost never we ask questions that are only us know the answers. They are all public. Okay? And we do it on purpose. We're trying to teach you how to do that. We're trying to show the world that it can be done differently, that you don't have to be afraid of information. And still, there's nobody that actually will take the time and read the answers of hundreds of people sometimes thousands, that's saying exactly what they need. I asked you why it will be important for you to follow a training like 0 to a million. For those of you that saw that, I don't know how many of you saw that. How many of you saw me asking that question? Okay, so many of you saw that. The first week we did that, we got about 220, 230 responses for that. I read every one of them. You just wrote for me the sales page for that. Now I know what I need to sell because you told me exactly what you need. So I refined the question in the last week, and I asked again, and I got 110 people to answer it in a better way for me, so I'll know exactly how to do that. The information is there for everyone. Everyone can learn from what we're doing, but nobody does it. We ask the questions all the time. So that's one way to ask, is asking your audience through an email, through a blog post, through a survey. Right? You can send a survey to people. So those are easy ways to do that. You can do that without even asking directly people. You can just spy on people. It's so easy today to spy on your target audience. Just go for any discussion forum or any Facebook group or any LinkedIn group that takes your target audience together and just listen to the conversation, see what they're struggling with, see what are the challenges, see what are the problems that people are coming up with, and they tell you exactly what they want. It's so easy. It's so simple. Go to networking events and just ask people. When you meet somebody that belongs to your target audience, say, listen, do you have a minute for me? I'm really struggling with that. Can you help me knowing what will help you to move forward to get better results in that, whatever it is your area? And they will answer you. But we don't do that. And we guess. Most of you, if I will ask you what's the biggest problem with your target audience, you will tell me, you will be able to tell me, but it will be a guess. You will think that it's a very educated guess, but it's still a guess. And in 90% of the time, this guess is wrong. Or at least it's 5% off, which means that you'll never be able to communicate the right words for that. You know, I'll give you an example, practical example. 2 weeks ago, I put a question of, why would you want to follow me over my shoulder and see how I'm creating a business for 0 to a million over a year? Why would it be important for you? And I got all the answers that I expected, all the answers. I can see what you're doing. I can see all the resources that you're using. I can see how much it cost you, how you make decisions and everything. But you know, all this I expected. There was one thing I didn't expect, and it came up with, I would say, at least a third of the answers. From 200 and something, that's very accurate statistically. People say, I want to see how you handle a setback. How do you handle a setback? How do you do when something goes wrong? I didn't think about that. But it's important for at least a third of the people. You know, I kind of joked once that I was mentioning that. I said, how many of you would like to see me struggle live with a new business, and all the hands went up. And I thought it's coming from like a, but actually there is a good learning lesson there, which I didn't get. I didn't understand that until I saw that from people saying to me, it's important for me to see how you handle setbacks, which I will have. I'm going to start from zero, get $1 million. That's quite a big challenge for that, for me also. And there will be things that I will do, and there will be mistakes, and I will need to handle that. And now I know that it's important to people, so I will put that in my bullet points, in my sales page for that. I will say, hey, come and see how I handle setbacks and not letting it crash me, even if I lose everything. That suddenly it's a benefit for people. And they told me. You told me. Does that make sense? By just asking people, this is so, so, so important. Okay? So this is how we create most of our trainings, not all of them, but most of them. Write Your Book course came from that. We asked people that did the Master Entrepreneur, we asked them, so what would you like to learn next? And in the Master Entrepreneur, you'll see tomorrow, the day after, I'm teaching you how to become an expert. And one of the things that you need to do to become an expert, it's not a big rocket science. You need to write a book. You need to publish a book. And people would say, yeah, but I have lots of information. I don't know how to put them into a book. Ah, you don't know how to put them in a book. I already published, at that time, 75 books. Most of them I wrote in less than a month. I can show you how to do that. So we started the course, Write Your Book in 28 days. And you know what? It was fully booked from the first moment. And it's still fully booked. Just like that. We did it with the master presenter, the same. We asked people, what will be important for you if you now need to become an expert? And people say, listen, you're presenting, when you're over there standing on stage, you're doing it great. It's amazing how to see how without slides, without everything, you can keep us, for 2 hours, 3 hours at a time, for full days, hanging on your lips. How do you do that? Oh, you don't know how to do it? That's great. I know how to do that. I'll be happy to teach you. 4,000 euros per year. And people rushed. This master presenter is a small group I mentioned before. There's 100 people that can go there because we do processes that you need to be on stage in front of everybody. And it's always full, always fully booked. Actually, this year, we were overbooked, so we needed to use, for that specific process, 2 rooms with two trainers at the same time. Okay? And we're not going to do that again, so it's because it was too much work. So this is how you do that. You ask people, they tell you what they need, and they help you to develop that, and then they are the first ones to buy. Because they asked for it. Does that make sense, guys? How much easier it is to do that, and how much cheaper it is to do that than to develop a whole thing. You know how long it takes me to develop a good training? If I would develop what I want to do, I would develop this, and nobody would buy that. And it happened once in my life, and since then I never do it again. I developed a whole training for a year. I had 150 people listening to the sales pitch about it, and nobody bought. No, one person bought, which was even worse because we needed later to compensate her for not getting the training because I didn't do that anymore. And it was crazy. Just develop what people want. That's it. It's so much easier. We always sell you a new training before it exists. I'm going to start offering you tomorrow the 0 to $1 million. I'm very transparent. Is that okay? I'm going to sell you tomorrow a training that is called 0 to $1 million. You should buy it. Everyone. I don't care what you want to do further, if you want business university or not. The 0 to $1 million you don't want to miss. I'm telling you now. It's not the sales pitch yet. Okay? However, I can tell you now that the training does not exist. Doesn't exist. Nothing. There's a concept in my head. The concept is, I want to start a new business on the 1st of January. You will help me to choose what product it will be. I will come up with some ideas, and I will throw you to the participant. Tell me which one you think is the best. What do you think is the best target audience? I'm not going to tell you from 0. I'm going to tell you, I think, Group A, Group B, Group C, which one you suggest. We do it a little like reality TV. You will vote, right? And I will choose that, whatever you choose. Okay, and I'm going to start it from 0, so and I'm going to start it probably also from a pretty much 0 budget. So I'm not going to come with €500,000 to start with. That's the idea, and that's it. That's the concept, and I think the concept is great. We talk to people. People say the concept is exciting. I don't care how exciting you think the concept is. When you will go to the back and sign a form for that, then I will know that I should develop the training. And in this case, it's easy because I'm only starting developing it on the 1st of January anyway, because that's the point. But it can be any other training. We don't develop a training before people pay for it. Do you understand the safety that you create in your business when you have that? And it's good for them too, because you give them a good deal because they're doing it early. People that will go late will pay 2 or 3 times for that. Does that make sense, guys? I'm showing you how we're doing it. We're doing it. It works for us. Please don't think that it's some kind of a crazy idea of a crazy guy. We're doing it all the time. It's so simple, but it's different than what you're used to. Does that make sense? Okay, I want to show you what happens when you don't do that. Okay, I want to show you your business in the eyes of a short video that we're going to show you here. It's extreme, it's a little bit exaggerated, but it's really similar to the way that you develop your products or services. And I want you to watch it. It's a piece of a clip for a movie, which you might saw, might not so. I hope you'll enjoy that. It shows how absurd it is sometimes to develop what you think is the right product. So Bas, if you can give us this one and lower the lights. And guys, please provide us with oxygen and some coolness here. Okay, so just focus. Sound.
Really?
Forget it, Don. Out of your league.
Seem to forget women get turned on by the sight of the working man.
Morning, Charlie.
Bella.
I'm sorry, it's a bit messy, I thought we agreed that I'd come to London.
I have to warn you, Charlie from Northampton. I have a terrible habit of doing exactly the opposite of what people want.
Sorry?
In fact, some might say that attempts of certain people to make a man out of me as a child is exactly the reason that I now wear a frock. If, therefore, I get the feeling somebody didn't want me to come to Northampton...
No.
Also, I can tell from years of experience when I'm being smuggled in through a rear door.
Oh, that's the rough stuff room.
Is it?
That's where we dump all the offcuts and misshapes.
Oh, there you go. I wonder why I was being drawn to it.
Pardon?
Nothing.
All right, sir.
George? Listen now. All I'll say is that when it comes to attracting women, some men don't have to speak.
This is cozy.
Here we are. Well? What do you think?
Burgundy. Please, God, tell me I have not inspired something burgundy. Red! Red! Charlie boy! Rule 1! Red!
Is the color of sex.
Burgundy is the color of hot water bottles. Red is the color of sex and fear and danger and signs that say do not enter.
All of my favorite things in life.
Who's that?
Oh, he's got your new girlfriend in there.
But they're comfy.
Comfy. Sex shouldn't be comfy.
Thank God, I thought it was just me.
Now, I don't know what you're used to making around here, Charlie boy, but now you're making sex. 2.5 feet of irresistible, tubular sex. I mean the heel. For God's sake.
Yeah, it won't break. That's what you wanted,
Not
isn't
if
it?
it means having to go around looking like a bloody Ukrainian peasant, no.
Well, it's better than flouncing around like a...
You want to show your niche market a little more respect, Charlie boy. I mean, let's ask you, girls. No! Girls! Would you wear something like this to go out?
No.
I bet you'd look all right in them, sweetheart.
You've pulled.
Ladies. Well, I'm very flattered. But frankly, if you can't get women to wear them, you'll never get blokes like me to wear them.
All right, thank you. For those of you that didn't get it, first of all, it's from a movie that is called Kinky Boots. It's one of the best marketing movies you can ever find. I mean, it's an English comedy. They didn't mean it as a marketing movie, but that's probably the best marketing movie I know when it comes to target audience. Kinky Boots, check it out. For those of you that didn't understand, this is a 2-meter boxer that is like to dress with women's clothes. And he looks for shoes that will not break. Okay, and this guy is trying to create the shoes for this niche market, and he's focusing on what he thinks is important for them, that it won't break, that it will be comfy, etc. You saw the response. Okay? When you don't know what they want because you didn't ask them, that's what you're going to get as a result, and you're not going to sell one shoe. And that's the struggle that many of you are, because you never had the target audience that you defined, you never asked them. And that's what we're going to do now, okay? We need to ask our target audience. You can ask them a lot of things. I'm going to give you the 3 questions that you must ask, okay? The 3 things that you must ask is very, very simple. 3 questions you must ask. Let's keep this door closed. We keep this closed, keep the door open. Here I'm losing all the energy. Okay, thank you. So 3 questions. 3 questions you want to ask your target audience. If you want to ask extra, that's okay, but those 3 must be. The first one. First of all, what's the purpose? We want to learn what they want. Remember that. And you'll notice that because I'm asking the question, which will ask no one of the question will say what you want. Because people will not answer that. People will never tell you what they want. They have billions of reasons what to tell you. They don't know what they want. They don't want you to know what they want. They don't feel comfortable with telling you what they want. They don't care about your business, so why would they answer you about that? So they will never answer you to a straight question, what do you want? So we need to ask them 3 questions in order to find out what they want. The first question is, what frustrates you the most when it comes to, your area of expertise? So what frustrates you the most about your overweight? What frustrates you the most about your relationship? What frustrates you the most about your small business? What frustrates you the most about, the relationship with your teenage kids? Okay, so what frustrates you the most about, and then now you fill it up with your area, okay, your area of expertise. Okay, you want to find out what frustrates them the most. That's one thing. So if I will ask you what frustrates you the most about your business, you can say, well, the fact that I don't have continuity of my income, so sometimes I have a lot, sometimes I have less, that might be. It might be that you'll say, well, the frustration is that, there's so many other graphic designers like me, I don't know how to position myself that people will notice me, or whatever it is, okay? So you want to ask them what frustrates them. Clear? Okay? All right, the second question is, what are you trying to accomplish this year in this area? Okay, what are you trying to accomplish this year? About your weight, or about your relationship with your partner, or about your small business? What is it that you're trying to accomplish this year? We're looking for their goal, but not a goal for tonight, a goal for this year, so it gives them a little bit of a bigger picture. So they might tell you, listen, my daughter is getting married in 8 months, and I want to lose these 10 kilos before the wedding. That's my goal. That's what I want to reach this year, for example. Or I want to reach a better communication with my daughter so she will actually, do her homework and get through her exam the right way, whatever it is. Okay, what are you trying to reach? I want to, make more money, work less hours, whatever it is. So that's the second question. The third question is, what do you think you need? This is important. Try to keep the words. What do you think you need in order to double your, whatever it is, to double your business, double your happiness, double your health? Please don't use the word double when it's not appropriate. Okay, double your income, it's appropriate, but double your weight is probably not appropriate this way, or double your happiness. So find another word for that. But the point is that you ask him, what do you think you need in order to achieve a big result, or a big success, thank you, or a big success, in that area, in that specific area that you work? Are we clear? We're asking them for 3 things. We're asking them for frustration, which tell you what they don't want, right? Which tell you what they don't want. So if you know what they don't want and you're a little intelligent, you can find out what they want. So that's one thing. Then you ask them for what is their goal, not what they want, but what their goal in a year, so it's a little bit safer for them to say. Because if you ask them what do they want, it feels like now, I want to lose that weight. But I know that I cannot lose that. I'm trying it for 2 years. But this year, I would like to lose that weight so I can go to my daughter's wedding, with another dress. Does that make sense? So that's why we're asking. I'm explaining a little bit the psychology behind it. And the third question is basically give you they will actually tell you what they need, which is great. Because they will tell you, well, I need to learn how to do that, or I will need a one-on-one coach, or I need somebody will, keep me accountable for that, or I need the information about that topic. They will tell you exactly the product you need to deliver them if you ask it the right way. So the results from those 3 questions together, you just need to sit about it a little bit, and you will find exactly what they want. You don't need anything else. 3 questions, guys. 3 questions that are not scary for people to answer. They will answer that either anonymously or not anonymously, through surveys, through questions, through networking, in Facebook, you can ask them any way you want on the phone. Okay? Those are 3 questions that you can get the answer in 3 minutes, and you will have more information than you ever had before. And all you need to ask is not 1,000 clients, you need to ask 10 or 15 in order to get very accurate picture. I don't need to ask all of you what you want, or any one of those questions. I can take any 3 or 4 groups here with the chairs, and I will get enough that will be statistically pretty accurate. Does that make sense?